They paraded through Paris carrying a woman's head, powdered, curled, and smiling. But who was she? And how did a revolution for freedom turn into a march of blood? Paris, September 1792. The revolution had overthrown the monarchy, but it had not found peace. As foreign armies advanced toward France, fear and rumors filled the streets. Many believed that royalists and prisoners inside the city were plotting to destroy the revolution from within. In that fever of suspicion and rage, the people no longer trusted the law. They took justice into their own hands. What followed became one of the bloodiest episodes of the French Revolution, the September Massacres, and among the victims was a woman named Marie-Thérèse de Lamballe, the Queen's closest friend. This episode is inspired by Pierre Nesloff's La vie joyeuse et tragique de Marie-Antoinette. A sudden cry rang out. "Bring Madame de Lamballe, the Queen's friend." She was pushed before the president of the tribunal. He asked, "Will you declare that you hate your king and your queen?" She said nothing. He repeated the question. At last she answered quietly, "I will never take that oath. It is against my beliefs and my feelings." "Take her to the Abbaye," he ordered. They led her into the street. Her eyes met a sight no slaughterhouse could match. Bodies littered both sides of the road. Executioners and volunteers, drenched in blood, God screamed in fury, brandishing daggers and swords that glistened with red. The poor woman covered her face with her hands to hide the scene. From behind, a man called Ducatel struck her a crushing blow to the head. Madame de Lamballe collapsed. They seized her by the hair and dragged her along the ground. One of them cried out, "Bring her round. She must not die unconscious. Make her feel death." They poured water over her face again and again. She did not revive. Then Lebec, a butcher's apprentice, severed her head from her body. Another attacker then pulled out her heart. The mob then brutally mutilated her remains. When they finished, they stood for a moment and asked, "What now?" A voice answered, "To the temple. Show the Austrian woman her friend's head." They set off, bearing the severed head. Someone objected, "This head is not fit to be shown. It must be prepared." There was a barber shop on that street. They forced the head inside. They ordered the trembling barber to wash it and curl its hair. He obeyed, hands shaking. H washed the head, curled Madame de Lamballe's hair, and sprinkled powder over it. When he was done, Lebec said, "Now it can be shown to the Austrian woman." The procession formed. At its front, Lebec carried Madame de Lamballe's head on a pike. Blood dripped from it, running down his hands and face. He wiped himself with his sleeve. To his left, a man marched with her heart impaled on a sword. Behind them, others dragged the mutilated corpse, looped on a rope over their shoulders. They paused at a tavern to drink and rest. One of them poured wine into Madame de Lamballe's mouth, the liquid splashing down the butcher's own face. He then cried out, drink to the health of the people. The blade had no master anymore. Not king, not people. The September Massacres became a turning point in the revolution, and when fear silenced reason and justice gave way to vengeance. From that moment on, the revolution no longer fought for freedom. It fought simply to survive, and in that struggle it became what it once opposed. We've just begun our journey of creating these animated historical documentaries. Your support at this early stage is incredibly valuable to us. If you enjoyed this story, please help our channel grow by subscribing so we can create more.